What's up? I'm Wally, and I'm still in my work clothes. Today I wanted to talk about Sinners. It's a movie directed by Ryan Coogler, who you might know from Creed and Black Panther. Ironically enough, I saw Sinners in IMAX on Easter Sunday. This film really wasn't what I expected at all. I saw the trailer initially and had my doubts. The trailer wasn't really well done and looked kind of cheesy and just kind of a generic vampire horror thriller. However, as I was watching the movie, I was completely blown away. First off, the movie is beautiful in IMAX, and that's absolutely the way to go see it. Unfortunately, the 3 IMAX screens in my city are only the smaller laser IMAX formats. I didn't have any of the expanded 70mm or above formats that this movie was releasing in. I'll put a link in the description to a video from the Kodak YouTube channel where Ryan Coogler goes into a lot of depth about the multiple formats that they released this movie in. The film definitely takes advantage of the larger IMAX screen. There are aspect ratio changes throughout the movie, and they use these aspect ratio changes extremely well. The scenes are shot with multiple different lenses, and you can tell which one is which as you're watching the movie. I definitely noticed the anamorphic lens, much like the one you're watching this video on, being used in some of the darker, quieter scenes. The cinematography was just one small part of the whole picture. The acting, the story, the concept was all just top notch. I generally try not to judge a book by its cover, but based on just the 1 or 2 trailers that I saw, I was kind of not super hopeful for it. This just goes to show that even if the trailer kind of sucks, you still want to give a movie a chance. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything directly in this video. I'm going based off of what was shown in these trailers, but this movie is a vampire movie. It is a horror movie at the end of the day. The vampires were scary and realistic and visceral. They reminded me a lot of The Infected from 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later. I really don't think they could have done a better job with the creature design and casting for these vampire characters. One other part of this movie that surprised me was the use and really the focus on music. Now, I'm a pretty big fan of music, and there's a scene in the middle of this movie that pays such great respect to the history of music overall, specifically black music, and it was beautiful. I don't want to go into too much detail because I do think that everyone should see this movie in theaters and experience it for themselves, but just know that music is a big part of this movie. That's not what I picked up from the trailers, but I was pleasantly surprised to see how Ryan Coogler paid respect to music as a whole. Speaking of music, there are scenes where there are songs being performed. They're all excellent. All of the songs being performed, all of the music being performed was fun and entertaining, and I really enjoyed every one of the musical scenes that was put into this movie. All of the acting performances were really, really good. No notes. Everything was believable. There were some cheesy lines here and there, but really it was completely overshadowed by the greatness of everything else in this movie. Overall, this movie was a great time. If you can see it in IMAX, please do that. If you can't, that's okay. Just go see it on the biggest screen that you can find with the best audio you can find. I really think that everyone that goes and sees this will enjoy it. I personally gave it a really strong 4.5 on Letterboxd, and I think that it really deserves that. If you're a horror movie fan, a history fan, or even a music fan, there's something here for pretty much everybody. I'm curious to hear if any of you guys dislike this movie. As always, appreciate you watching and argue with me in the comments.